Welcome back, everybody. So today we're just going to have a side-by-side of my Chinook Pellet versus my Chinook Hop Smash Beer, Leaf Hop Smash Beer. So if you haven't seen them, I would go back and watch the initial tastings of each one. I did them separate, and now I'm bringing them together. We'll see what the differences in the two are. I think this is good for a home brewer that grows hops, to maybe go out and buy a package of the pellet and then make your own and see what the difference in your hop versus the standard pellet hops are. So beer one, or beer on my left, is the pellet version. Beer on my right is the leaf version. I'll just go ahead and set these over. They were bottled on the same day, 10-4. The pellet version is 7.3%. The leaf version is 7.77%. They're both using 2 pounds, 8 ounces of 2-row. Then for the hop schedule, 0.25 ounces at 30 minutes, 0.25 ounces at 10, 0.25 ounces at 5. This is a small batch, 1.25 gallons going into the carboy, just in case you didn't see the other videos. For the head, I would have to give it to the leaf version. It's a little bit more, but they're both under a quarter of a finger. They're both white heads. If we take a look at the color, if anything, for the color, they're both golden yellow, but the leaf version is a little bit cloudier. Now, I did, after the standard reviews or the solo reviews, I did pour more in here to fill it up. So that could be I got a little bit more trube hop matter in the leaf version than I did in the pellet version. But for color, I would say now they're pretty much exactly on. If anything, I would say the leaf version has a little bit more of an orange tint. It's a tiny bit darker, and that is the same thing in the first review that I found out. Hop oils could be off a little bit because I'm using my homegrown leaf versus a pellet, so you're going to get that. Carbonation level, I have to give it to the leaf version. It has a little bit more carbonation. Let's go ahead and smell and see what one we like the best. Yeah, I can already tell. So in the smell, and I think a lot of homebrewers should be doing this, in the smell, when I did them separate, you couldn't really pull it out. Yes, I smell a little bit more lemon citrus out of the leaf version, but having them sit side by side, I think the pellet version is a little sweeter. It's got a little bit more like a sweet citrus. It is still on that lemon lime side, but it's a little sweeter. Now that could be because it didn't ferment as much as the leaf version, so there is a little bit more sugar that was left in there, and that could be the sweetness that we're getting. Because, yeah, you could have the same grain bills. You could mash in lower on one than higher on the other, and you're going to get two totally different beers. The more sugar you draw out, the higher the ABV could be if you let it ferment out all the way. If you do that, that means the yeast is going to eat more sugar. You're going to have a lighter body, but a higher ABV. Where if there's not as much sugar in there and you don't let it eat everything, ferment out, you're going to have a little heavier body, a lower ABV. And a good case of that, if you want to go back, is my Peachtree IPA. The first couple times I made it, it was good. The body was excellent. Then the next time, I fermented a little bit longer, or the yeast were a little happier, and the ABV went up about 2 points. So it was a 7 and it was almost a 9, or it was a little over a 9, and the body wasn't the same. So you can, that's why you have to watch those mash temps, and if you really want something, you need to be taking gravity readings, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th day, just to see what they are. But for the smell, I can't pick. Sometimes I want a sweeter beer, and that sweet citrus in the pellet version would be good on some days. Then in the leaf version, it's more of that lemon citrus juiciness. So just depending on what day it is, I could see picking this one this day, this one that day. I mean, obviously, if you're not a lemon fan, you're probably going to look for the pellet version, at least in this case. Where if you are a lemon citrus fan, you're probably going to want the leaf version. Let's go ahead and taste. Very smooth. You get a little toasted bread. That citrus. If anything, because I set it in the leaf version, this one tastes drier. Like, I want to go back for more. My mouth is dry. So tasting them side by side, I think the same thing goes through. The pellet version, little bit more sweet overall generic citrus. The leaf version, more lemon, citrus, juiciness, almost a tartness, a tiny bit of tartness. Like if you diluted some lemon juice in a little bit of water, there's that little tang tartness there. That's kind of what I get from this. By drinking them side by side, I do think the leaf version is carved a little bit better. The pellet version isn't flat, but tasting them side by side like this, the leaf version pops just a little bit more. This is a hard one. If I had to pick, again, I would have to go with both as the best. Like right now, I would rather drink a little sweeter citrus than lemon citrus juiciness just right now. But the leaf version tastes more like the 5-gallon Chinook beer that I usually make every year. But it's got a little more lemon tartness in it. But that does remind me of that. Yeah, I would say I couldn't pick either one right now. But if I had to pick one right now, it would be the pellet version. But now, does that mean I'm always going to buy the pellet? No. I am totally satisfied with the leaf version, and I will stop buying Chinook pellets if I don't need them and just use my leaf version. If you've done this with any of your homegrown hops, let me know in the comments below what one you like better, or if you've done a test with pellet versus leaf. So if you enjoyed this video, check some more out over here, and until next time, happy brewing.